So John, are you from where you say you're both up in Maryland?
Yeah.
Yeah, and are y'all from there?
Yeah. Yeah. We,
I
yeah, we're
Sorry,
raising
John.
our families here. Yeah. Ellicott City. We're both right around the Baltimore metro area.
Yeah,
Nice,
I'm
nice.
not originally from Maryland, but I'm originally from New York, and then went to college down in Maryland, Towson University, and met my wife, and now I'm stuck here forever. So
See how that works? That I tell you, those ladies, man, wherever they are, that's where we're going to be, right? That's just how
that's
it
it.
works.
Yeah. God
See,
bless her.
bar owners have known that for years. That's why they have ladies' night. They never have a guys' night, right? It's always ladies' night because they know
Yeah,
wherever the ladies are, the guys will follow. So
that's exactly
good for
right.
you, man. Good for you. Both nice places. So where do you guys work at?
So we operate in the Baltimore area, so in between Baltimore and DC.
No, I meant
We're
like
licensed.
what company? What company?
Oh, sorry, Cross Country Mortgage.
Oh, awesome. Great company. How y'all been there for a while?
Just under 3 years.
Nice. And now, do y'all work as a partnership or how does that work?
Yeah, we're a true partnership. We've been working together for just under 10 years now, right, John?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we from the very beginning decided, hey, we want to do this as a partnership. Um, it works really well for our work-life balance. It works well that we have someone to rely on when one of us is out of the office. We work really well as a team together. I have certain strengths and John has certain strengths, so we kind of complement each other in that regard, and it's been working ever since.
Yeah, when Steve and I started working together, it was like one of us is smart and the other's good looking, and we just leave it at that, for it's obvious which is which, So,
We
dude,
know
that's
we know it's you, Carl.
yeah. Yeah. So that's that's a long partnership in the mortgage, the mortgage world, like it's like dog years, every year is like seven. So that's like you guys have been together for 70 years, man. That's really quite remarkable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We hold each other accountable. I think we motivate each other as well. So it works out perfectly.
Were y'all buddies before you got in the mortgage business, or like how'd you guys hook up?
So it's an interesting story. Um, I started working. I started working for a company called Prosperity Home Mortgage, which
Okay.
is an in-house lender from a real estate company up in Maryland, Virginia area. And I had moved into a new office, and I was looking for help. Like I had a lot of deals coming in, and I needed a partner, needed some assistance. And John at that time was the insurance manager for the same office, right? For and service those offices in that specific office that I was working out of. And he had a lot of the relationships in the office, and I was the new guy in town. This is 10 years ago, so I was 24 years old,
Okay.
and didn't really have any of the relationships, but John did, and I knew mortgage. He had the relationships, and one way to combine our skills, and I would teach John the mortgage stuff, he'd teach me the relationship stuff, and we kind of formed a bond, and he
Hmm.
jumped right out of insurance right into mortgage, and it's been that way ever since.
That's a very interesting story. So one of you knew the mortgage business, one of you knew the nuts and bolts more, and one of you knew relationship marketing more. And so you just kind of traded off talents. So that's now, do you find since you kind of came in the door that way, is it still like that where John, you work on most of the relationship stuff and Nick, you work more on the nuts and bolts of the loan? Have y'all stayed that, or is it kind of meshed like separated out, or how does that work?
No, we've kept it pretty much the same way.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
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 So even to this day, John will handle a lot of the Thor's Hammer phone calls. He'll handle a lot of the Just Ask phone calls. He'll do a lot of the past client phone calls and the PAL phone calls. I handle more of the PAL phone calls, I think, but um, I work on the loans and he works on the relationships. Um, and
Very
we've been doing
interesting.
that for a long, long time at this point. Now,
You know,
obviously, he'll work with some certain clients and things of that nature, and I have relationships of my own with specific real estate agents, but we really balance off each other really nice.
you guys might have the longest partnership. I can't think of one that's longer. off the top of my head. When you're talking about two loan officers working together and kind of hitching the horse up to the same wagon. So how does that work? Like if like let's say Nick, if you get a loan from your uncle's brother, do y'all like split the revenue? Do y'all
Every single
like
one,
so everything gets split?
every single deal, no matter who brings it in, right from the very jump. Yeah.
How does that work out? Like, let's just say, and I'm just going to grab one of you. Let's just say John says, I feel like taking 3 weeks off this year, not two, or 1 week, not two, or 8, not 4, or whatever. And then the other one goes, well, I'm just in a season of life where I want to get it while the getting's good. Like how do you handle that kind of stuff?
So Nick would say, yeah, do it, go for it. And I would never do that to him, but he would be the type of guy that'd be like, yeah, all right, I got this, I can handle it. Sometimes we joke, when it's slow, we're like, okay, who's going away?
Yeah.
Who's getting a vacation? Because as soon as they pack that bag, all that sudden that weekend it's going to be open floodgates.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So yeah, we joke about that, but either one of us could say that to the other, and we'd say, okay, we'll figure it out, we'll handle it.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always been my concern with a partnership is,
Someone taking
is
advantage of the other side.
and not really taking advantage, right? Not even taking advantage, but like let's just say a season of life that I don't know, maybe an elderly parent and you want to spend more time with them, or I don't know, just yeah, you get involved with the local little league, and you want to go coach like just just think not taking advantage of, just a different thing. So that's very interesting.
We both do it. We both coach. Right now, Nick is coaching t-ball. I'm coaching soccer. There's nights that I'm on the ball field and somebody's texting me, hey, I need this lender letter. We have a loan partner. We have a team. We have a nice set of processing team. But it's as simple as a quick text message. Hey, I'm on the softball field. And all of the people that we work with know, if I don't get John, I get Nick. If I don't get Nick, I get John. So it makes it real easy. And now that we have our loan partner, Anthony, it transitions the same way. Whereas Nick and I might both be on the ball field and we're like, hey, Anthony, we need this lender letter and worksheet, make it happen. And so constant communication, and our wives think we're crazy, but it's a lot of fun. It actually is, it works out really well.
Wow. So and I hear y'all had a pretty good first quarter. So I'll give you the numbers that I got, and then you correct me if I got something off here. Like a little note that Teresa sent me that you guys were like around 6-ish for January, and then for April she said it was somewhere around 20. And is that in what, April, and we're in the middle of May now. So are those numbers accurate? And if so, how's May?
Yeah. So those numbers are accurate. So January we closed 6 loans. We've increased every single month so far this year. April we closed 20, and in May we're going to close another 20.
Good for you, man. So that's a remarkable. And by the way, 6 in January in Maryland, nothing shabby, right? I mean, it's January, even down here in Florida, tends to be our slowest month, because it's the activities that happened 30 and 60 days ago, which was the holidays, that affects January.
Yeah. And what I would say we're most proud of at this point is, as everybody knows, the market's down about 7, 8, 10%. And we've actually outpaced every single month this year than we did last year. So we did more in this January than we did last January, did more this February than we did last February, and so on every single month this year. Not by a ton, but when the market's a little 10% lower than it was last year, I feel like it's a pretty good accomplishment.
And you're up. That is an accomplishment. So All right, the question begs, I want to get more about this partnership thing because I find that part fascinating. Because we have a lot of people, that are partners that I run across. So I think this might be the first episode we've had like a true partnership on here. But going from 6 to 20, so if we do percentage wise, that's a little better than 300% increase in a very, very short period of time. Is that all seasonality, or is that because of an increase in efforts or different set of efforts, or like what it come from?
I would say it's a combination of both. The seasonality from 6 to 20, I would say that exists. But the activities like outpacing last year, I think is due to all the activity, right? And we're not reinventing the wheel. We're not doing anything crazy. We're doing what you and Freedom Club has taught us to do, which is follow the DSP. And that's really it. I mean, we're not doing anything earth shattering. That's, oh my gosh, you guys have to try this. It's totally different and it works. We're doing the DSP.
So on the data success plan that you're doing, so that's and for anybody that might be new listening, it's where we do 2 hours of prospecting, typically first thing in the morning. And then on Mondays, we're calling the agents. It's a theme days, right?
Yep.
Which was actually founded by a guy named Dean Jackson, is the guy that came up with these theme days way, like 25, 30 years ago, and then shared it with a small handful of us. And we kind of ran with this thing and kind of did some tweaks to it. But so on Monday, we're calling real estate agents, and Tuesday, we're calling our current deals that we're doing and asking for more business. Wednesday, past database, and Thursday is our pre-approved and lookings. So do both of you make your 2 hours or is it 2 hours of prospecting that you're doing a day? Or is it something different that you guys are doing?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I do a majority of it. Nick does some of it as well, but we're really, like you were saying, doing the exact thing that you got from Dean and tweaking it. And, each day might bring something different, where we're bringing out tools that we're using as far as whether it's, move to, or MBS highway. We do a lot of stuff with that. Nick likes Mortgage Coach. He uses that quite a bit. So all we're doing is we're implementing the DSP and then adding these tools to it and tweaking it to our liking. And so, one day I might do an hour and a half, another day I might do 3 hours, depending on what's going on and what kind of meetings and results we're getting. And really, we stick true to it. It might not be 2 hours every day, but it's damn near close.
Yeah, I could see like in your case, John, a lot of times people say, well, I'm so busy, I just didn't have time to prospect, which, we all know it's crazy when we say that, but we've all said that. I know I have.
Yeah.
In your case, it's probably a little harder to grab that excuse because, your main man, Nick's got your back and he's working on the loan stuff. So it's like, all right, dude, if you're not doing that,
Yeah.
it's either that or ping pong,
Yeah. 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 He'll ask me, hey, how did calls go today? I know he's in the weeds sometimes with figuring stuff out and problem solving. And, that I know is going on. So it's like, hey, I got to do my part. And, how they say, how do you eat the frog? You get up in the morning and you're like, okay, I'm hitting all of these people, everybody that we got contracts from over the weekend. Those are easy calls, right? It's the calls where, hey, we had and what I found a lot of success with, and again, this is what I'm saying about tweaking our Tuesday calls. My favorite thing is to call the listing side, because right there you're setting up for, hey, this is going to be a quick 15-minute Zoom coffee after the transaction's over, and we're going to bring them to a buyer agent of ours and put them in our Focus 40.
I like that. Hey, how does it work? So, John, when you go on vacation, Nick, do you do the daily calls, like the
Yeah, so
prospecting calls on those weeks?
we do a lot of we both do a lot of the daily calls, and we even, and I'll admit we're not as good as it as we should be, but we try to get onto a Zoom call with each other and do our own little mini call stars.
Like that.
Just because we do at different times, it just doesn't always jive with the
Yeah.
whole Freedom Club. But we always try to do something with that. And I always, without question, are always doing our just ask calls. I'm always doing past client calls and PAL calls. The only thing I think that I somewhat lack in doing, and John focuses more on, is those Monday calls to real estate agents.
The new prospecting new referral
Yeah,
partners.
Yeah, exactly. So if John's on vacation, yes, I'll pop in and make a couple of phone calls in there as well. But typically, like John said, if he goes away or I go away, we get super busy, and I am a little bit more in the weeds than I would like to be, but we're working through that as well.
So how does it work? Hey, I've got friends. I've got dear friends. I got friends that I would literally give an arm for, like literally. If people say my life, I don't know. That's a bit of a. I'm keeping it real here, right? I don't know. My family, of course, right? My brother, yes. My mother, yes. But even with our best relationships, we have disagreements, sometimes misunderstandings. Hell, even with our marriages, right? We get little spiffs from here and there. How does that work? Like, when one of you pisses off the other, like, how does that? How does that work out? It's got to happen sometimes, right?
I don't know. Does it happen often, John? I don't think it does.
I don't think so. I don't think
mean-
so at all. And the funny thing is I can hear sometimes when I call him, he's annoyed. I can hear the annoyance, and I'll be rambling on about something stupid, and I'm like, he's like, all right, I gotta go. And it's like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
And it's done, right? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
got
okay.
it.
He was annoyed and he didn't want to talk to me. So
Yeah.
I'll give him like an hour or 2 hours, and then, maybe shoot him a text, or even wait till the next day. But, you just sometimes, yeah, I mean, that's going to happen, but never is there like a huge disagreement or argument. And if there is, it's handled like you'd handle it with your brother. Like, okay, shut up, you're wrong, I'm right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you probably are
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
you're probably right. Let's go have a beer. Right. I get it. Hey,
Pretty
so
much.
how does it work? Do y'all have I know Nick, you're primarily working in the loans. Do you have like somebody like closing 20 loans a month? Do you have somebody that helps you, or do you have like an assistant or processor, or what does that look like?
Yeah. So we have a loan partner, and an LP1 and LP2. So there's also one other loan officer in our branch. So our loan partner handles the three of us as loan officers, and then we have, like I said, the LP1, LP2. So our loan partner helps us with everything from pre-approval letters, loan file setup. He basically does everything except for calls the client and reviews everything with them. But he'll run worksheets, he'll set up mortgage coaches, he'll send out pre-approval letters. And then we try our damnedest to get out of processing altogether. And I think the Freedom Club has really helped us do that more so than ever before. Because I used to help processing for a couple hours a day, and it took up way too much time. So got out of that, and we're trying to get to a place where I can actually now focus more on doing the Thor's Hammer phone calls and the Monday phone calls, and putting even more on our loan partner, so that I can really focus on the money making activities, the green activities, and making those prospecting phone calls along with John.
And just in case somebody's not familiar with the terms that you just used, the loan partner one is the person that works on the front end of the loans,
Yes.
like from lead to contract, and then your loan partner two is the one that works contract to close, kind of thing. Now, are these people are you guys are you guys in the same office? Like, are you physically located in the same office?
So we physically are located in the same office, but we're virtual about 70% of the time. Ever since COVID,
Yeah.
it just kind of became the new normal. So I work from home a lot. John works from home a lot. We do get together and review things. We have team meetings, things of that nature. But in terms of physical location, it's maybe once every 2 weeks we actually see each other.
How about your loan partners and processors? Are they remote? Are they under the same
They're
roof?
all, yeah, they're remote as well.
Yeah. I tell you, the remote thing's been just a game changer for me. And I think, some people struggle working at home because, that's, I don't know, that's where the refrigerator is, and or the kids, or maybe they got a, stay at home dad or stay at home mom, and hanging out with the spouse a little bit or something like that. I've never had a problem with it. I've got one part of my house. This room is my office. When I go in there, I'm working.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I shut that door. I'm out of that room. And
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it's always worked out great, but different things for different people. So now, are you guys branch managers? Are y'all co-branch manager?
Yes.
Correct.
And so you have a loan officer that works with you. Has that been for long?
Since we came over to cross country, yes.
So several years. So are you looking to do more of that?
We are actually. We talked about it just yesterday. I was chatting with another loan officer from a different company that I know, and he was telling me about how he's recruiting and he's up to like 5 or 6 loan officers, and how it's helping him with his branch and all that. And he's like, I deal with a lot of headaches because of it, but I think overall it'll end up working out really well. So I think that's our next game plan. We want to focus on us and our origination and getting smoother there. And then once we can really hone that down, maybe even hire another loan partner that helps with all the upfront stuff, and be able to be a pre-approval specialist and speak to the buyers. And then from there, start kind of branch out and start recruiting and growing our branch even further.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. So on does your other loan officer, what's his or her first name?
Brian.
Brian. So does Brian get access to your loan partners, or do you?
Oh,
do you
yeah.
get his, okay. So
Absolutely.
everybody uses, like, it's all kind of pulled together, and then as you need more, you'll get more. So
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
what you mentioned a pre-approval specialist. What would the pre-approval specialist do that your loan partner one doesn't do? What's the difference? Is that two names for the same role, or are they different
So,
roles?
and I think I confused it. When I'm saying LP1 and LP2 those are loan processors. So I apologize.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
we have a loan processor who will, once we get a contract in, they will collect every single document we need. They'll disclose the loan. They'll get it. And she used to be an underwriter. So she'll collect everything. She'll make it as clean as possible. And then she'll submit it to underwriting. From there, she's done. The file will come out of underwriting, and our loan processor 2 will handle everything from underwriting approval through closing. So they handle all of that. Our loan partner currently, like I said, he sets up the file. He sends out loan worksheets and pre-approval letters. He's not, in my opinion, he's not comfortable enough or strong enough on the phone to go through the full application with the client.
Yeah.
And review different options and all of that. I would love to get a loan partner that is capable of taking file from start to finish, right, and get everything over to processing, and then even do the just ask phone calls with the buyer on those days. So
the Tuesday updates.
Yeah, the Tuesday updates.
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting. So what's do y'all hang out after hours?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, my whole family was at John's house on Sunday. We were in the pool and hanging out.
Dude, you've refreshed my confidence in mankind, right? Or the human race. Let me say it that way. So that is so cool.
Well, you know what, Carl, we're actually, as of last year, and even the year before, right, Nick? We do Outer Banks every year. We get a big house together, and we're actually able to vacation together, whereas before, probably not possible. So
how does that work if you're both on vacation? Like, how does that work?
Well,
we rely on our loan partner and the other loan officer in the branch, and we go away together for 1 week.
Good for you, man.
We try to shut off as much as possible, right? But after 10 a.m., our laptops are closed.
Yeah, good for you. So like maybe catch early morning, catch up on a couple things. The family gets up, they're cooking breakfast. You're hanging with the family. So
yeah.
good for you. What's next?
Grow,
grow.
grow, grow, and grow it out.
Mm. Hey, all right, I got a question. So let's say a year from now, May, or where are we at here? Yeah, we're May. As we're recording this, we're at the very end of May.
Yep.
So it's a year from now, May. It's May 2025. And I call you guys up and they go, hey man, how was your May? And you go, dude, we closed 42 loans this month. And I say, dude, that's awesome. How'd you do it? How'd you do it?
I think the next step for us, like I mentioned earlier, is getting that extra person that we can fully trust and rely on, so that I can kind of be taken out of the nitty gritty of the day-to-day operation, and move more into a role where I'm prospecting as well. Even the just ask calls, the Tuesday update phone calls, we're getting a lot of referrals and buyers agents that we are now work with us primarily just from those phone calls, because they're so impressed that we're making those calls and they're so impressed with their process. And we ask them, say, listen, if this transaction goes well and it's smooth, can you make an agreement with me that you'll spend 15 minutes on a Zoom call after the transaction, so I can show you my entire process and see if we're compatible to work together. And we've been getting a lot of that, and I think it's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow. We need more time to be able to do more of that. And I think hiring that next person, like you say all the time, write small checks to cash big ones.
Yeah.
I think that's the next step, so that we can kind of catapult this thing.
I think we're also working with Connection Inc. to allow a lot of the AI to step in and help us towards that. But that one extra person that could fit in where Nick is, Nick and I are doing all of the prospecting, the DSP together, and then have that AI working for us. We're working on our SEO right now and getting that ramped up. So I think that's going to start to come into next year and really do us something good. So the combination of those things are going to get us there.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Well, this has been really cool, man. Hey, is there something I should have asked you that I didn't? Did we cover it okay, you think?
I think we covered it pretty well. I would say so.
I love your partnership, man. I can see you guys. So as most people are just listening to this on the podcast, we also stream this on YouTube, and I can just just by sitting here watching you guys, your admiration and respect for each other is just solid. It's just what's that old saying, iron sharpening iron, which works both obviously with two guys or two ladies or a guy and a lady. Like it doesn't matter how, but I can definitely see the the vibe that you guys got going, and it's just it's so important. You just you remind me it's so important of who we hang out with. It's just a really, really big deal. And it sounds like you guys hold yourselves accountable in your business. And it sounds like you hold yourselves, as in your case, as a family man or family, head of the family. Good stuff, man. I really appreciate you guys coming on here. And it was it's going to give me an extra skip in my step. So good stuff. Couldn't happen to two nicer guys, I can tell you that.
Well, thanks, Carl. Thanks for all you do too. We
we appreciate you.
We do love it. Yeah.
Well, and now you're inspiring others to hand your candle light somebody else's because they're listening. Hey, if somebody wants to reach out and said and say, hey, like to hear more about what you're doing, is there a way to contact you guys?
Yeah, either email or cell phone. Happy to pass that along. I don't know if you want to put that in the comments or I'm going to say it right now. I'm happy to do that. But
whichever is the easiest. Is it email easy enough?
Sure, email is easy enough, and you can reach me at nick.rocco, that's nick.rocco, ROCCO, at ccm.com.
Too easy.
And,
Nick?
Yeah.
Do it again.
nick.rocco at ccm.com. Perfect.
That sounds awesome. All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate being here on the episode. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to having that. Not that we won't do one before then, but looking forward to the one that we're going to have May in 2025 and hear how that 42 loans went. You know what? I'd put money on it that you're actually going to make that happen. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think, in fact, that might be a little bit of an understatement. I really believe that.
Hmm.
So good stuff. Thanks,
Cool,
guys.
yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right. Thank
All
you,
right,
Carl.
Carl.
See ya.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.